the 5th at the UP State Fairgrounds. The UP Ice Fishing and Hunting Expo, brought to you by the Daily Press and WZMQ 19 News.
Watch my reports from Delta County only on 19 News.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Sarah Blakely. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, an Iron Mountain man facing charges for allegedly threatening Dickinson County schools last month appears in court. What's next for Kyle Holmberg? Plus, another closed-door meeting among House Republicans as Congressman Scalise doesn't appear to have enough support to win the speakership. We are live in Washington with reaction from House members. And with state Democrats pushing for some of the most progressive energy bills in Michigan history, UP Republicans say the plans don't fit here. Your 19 News starts now.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 6.
It was nice to see the sunshine today, Air, but we know it isn't sticking around for very long.
No, it's going on vacation along with me. I'm really sorry. We do have some showers returning tonight, though. It's going to be fairly calm. Those clouds increasing, especially in the western portion, but those showers are going to return on Friday. We'll see breezier conditions as well. Those temperatures still staying pretty much in that same 45 to 55 degree range during the day, like the high we saw out at the National Weather Service today, about 48 degrees, and then in the evening we can expect the 35 to about 45 degree range. Right now we still have some 50 degree temps. I've got your full forecast after the break.
Thank you very much, Ariane. An Iron Mountain man who made threats to Dickinson County schools last month made an appearance in the county courthouse today. 30-year-old Kyle Holmberg faces a felony charge of false report or terrorism. It stems from an incident on September 24th. Local law enforcement were tipped off about an alleged threat toward Kingsford schools. In court today, Holmberg's attorney sought a continuance of the preliminary exam, and Holmberg waived his right to a preliminary hearing within a 21-day period. Holmberg is currently out on bond, and today some amendments were made to his bond conditions regarding internet access for communication devices. Holmberg is also not allowed to have contact with a person from his workplace or anyone under the age of 18. He's scheduled to appear in court again next month. Developing now, tensions between members of the House GOP over the Speaker is growing. Yesterday, members held a secret ballot vote nominating Steve Scalise to be the next Speaker, but today a handful of Republicans are still unable to get behind that nomination. Our Washington, D.C. correspondents Rachel Knapp and Brendan Scanlon join us live from the U.S. Capitol. Rachel and Brendan, what's the latest on this?
Hey there, Sarah. Good evening. Yeah, we are still without a Speaker of the House here on this Thursday. Members met earlier today, really throughout much of the afternoon, in another closed-door meeting to try to figure some of this out. We've heard from some of those members on their way in and out of that meeting, most of whom expressed, Rachel, some pretty serious frustration over how the process is currently unfolding.
Oh, that's right. So we're told from members that Jim Jordan, who was running for the speakership, told his fellow House Republicans that he does support Scalise's nomination, but there are still some of those that are holding out on supporting Scalise's nomination. They're saying that he's not providing them any details on things like the border wall, Ukraine aid, and other issues. So Sarah, take a listen as to what one of the members told us about this closed door process.
I think we're getting there. That's what needs to be done. Time is of the essence. There are so many crises, largely created by the Biden administration, that need to be dealt with, from our economy to national security to the border to Israel to Ukraine. So we need to work together, just simply come to a final resolution.
And Sarah, the whole purpose really of yesterday's closed-door meeting was supposed to kind of avoid this situation that we're seeing unfold. Members were supposed to rally around whoever won that nomination yesterday. Of course, Representative Steve Scalise, the majority leader in the House, won that nomination, but we're not really seeing all the members, as many that are needed, rallying around Scalise here right now in Washington, Rachel.
Oh, that's right. And so some of those holdouts, we're being told they are meeting privately with Scalise right now, trying to air out any details or maybe have some questions that they have for him if he was to get the gavel. And then, maybe later on tonight, we could hear later that members could meet again behind closed doors. We're still unsure about that, but we know that right now there's no floor scheduled vote for a new speaker. But of course, Sarah, we're going to keep our eye out on that. Sarah, back to you.
All right, Rachel and Brendan, thank you very much for that. Last Saturday, of course, Hamas carried out a surprise attack in Israel, leaving over 1,200 dead, including 27 Americans. The attack took place nearly 6,000 miles from the UP, but the effects of the violence can still be felt here at home. Rabbi Leonard Zucrow of Marquette's Temple Beth Shalom says, like a lot of Jewish people, he has family and friends in Israel who are directly impacted by this. Zucrow says there are ways UP residents can help support those affected.
The need right now is for Magen David Adom, which is the Israeli Red Cross, which runs the EMT services.
Rabbi Zucrow expressed his condolences for the victims on both sides of the conflict. In Lansing, House Democrats have introduced new legislation surrounding zoning for larger solar and wind farms. With large plots of land needed for renewable energy plants, Republicans are expressing concerns about the bills taking the deciding power away from local municipalities. Our Michigan Capitol correspondent Sophia Murphy spoke with our UP legislators to learn more about this.
With Democrats setting a goal of using 60% clean energy by 2030 in Michigan's Healthy Climate Plan, the challenge now is creating the legislation that will help build the infrastructure necessary to complete that goal.
We're in the middle of this big energy transition, and we want to make sure that we both have enough energy and it goes in places where it makes sense.
It's called the Clean Energy and Jobs Act. Proponents of the bill say it follows the same process the Michigan's Public Service Commission uses to site existing oil or gas pipelines and high voltage transmission lines.
These projects are going to go to primarily rural sites, farmland, and they're running into opposition with the locals.
State Representative Jen Hill explained that the bills deal with solar and wind farms that take up over 5,000 acres and generate over 50 megawatts of energy. She says projects of smaller sizes will still be under control of local cities, villages, and townships. But Representative Dave Preston says he's worried the legislation will still be used to override the will of the people in rural communities.
They say things like there'll be town halls and people will have a say, but the bottom line is they won't have the ability to say no.
And the criticisms don't stop on the Republican side. Representative Hill says she has a lot of concerns about the bill as well.
They do not specify what public benefits need to be provided back in return for having this level of infrastructure put into your community. Those are very important issues need to be addressed as we go forward with these bills. Otherwise, I'm not going to support them.
The Clean Energy and Jobs Act has only just been introduced to the House Energy, Communications, and Technology Committee. UP legislators say there's still a lot of work to be done before the bill can be voted on in the full House and sent over to the Senate for more revisions. For Michigan's capital, Sophia Murphy, WZMQ 19 News.
Your first warning weather forecast is coming up after this break. Plus, the cover 2. Luke Giardi gives us a preview of this weekend's big Miners Cup football game between NMU and Michigan Tech. And later, which came first, the chicken or the ordinance? Why Escanaba is considering allowing city residents to own chickens and ducks on their properties. We're back in 2 minutes.
19 News is brought to you by Dan Perkins Construction.
When you put on a product this nice, you want to sing it from the rooftops. You know my roof's good looking, will last the rest of your life. Each day I go to work thinking, you know we're doing this right. Buy a roof for me and I think you'll see you'll be happy as a gherkin. 'Cause we do it right and we're really polite. Take it from me, Dan Perkins. You try rhyming something with Perkins.
Buckles Party Store. It's where the party starts in Calumet with an awesome beer selection featuring domestic, foreign, and craft brew beer, a great selection of wine, just about any kind of liquor you want, and a great range of tobacco products. Buckles Party Store in Calumet. It's where the party starts for everyone.
New CBS Tonight.
We are halfway to handing out $200,000. From here on out, things are going to get more crazy, more weird, more intense than anything you've experienced so far.
Woo-woo! I am freaked out by this tower. It is so high.
So are you ready?
I freeze up inside.
You can do it! Go, Rachel!
It's decision time. Nobody wants to see any of you guys go. But you got to make a decision.
A new Buddy Games tonight at 8/7 Central on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
Someday your son's going to test you.
It's going to force you to make a decision.
A man must stand with his people. Now, we are not your people.
There is nothing you could do I won't forgive you for.
Yeah, there is.
Yellowstone, Sunday after 60 Minutes on CBS.
Brought to you locally by Erickson Jewelers. Whenever you need us, WZMQ 19 News is just a click away. Watch the latest 19 News anytime on the free WZMQ 19 News app. Now, WZMQ 19 News First Warning Weather with Ariane Stasek.
So it's October, it's fall, it's also Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Tomorrow is actually not only Friday, October 13th, but it's Metastatic Breast Cancer Awareness Day, so make sure you get checked out. Have your loved ones get checked out as well. This evening, though, we'll expect partly to mostly cloudy skies. Those lows 35 to about 40 degrees will warm up just a little bit tomorrow. Those breezy winds coming back with this low pressure system that is moving in. Showers expected as well. And that is going to be the story for the evening too. So those temperatures about 40 to 45 tomorrow evening. Let's take a look at what we've got for current temperatures. Right now we're in that 45 to about 55 degree range. And then those lows we can expect just a little bit lower than that. So like I said, we're in that 50 degree range, about 48 here in Marquette. And then this evening we'll see anywhere down to 40 degrees in Iron River and a little bit warmer there in Menominee with maybe some sprinkles. Winds currently coming out of the north and northeast, bringing those colder temperatures, and then we'll see some gusts returning as well on our Friday. This evening, though, maybe up to about 25, 27 miles an hour or less, gustiest over there in Ironwood for the night. And then tomorrow we'll expect conditions to pick up a little bit, especially in the early evening hours. Those winds starting to come out of the east, maybe 29 miles an hour here in Marquette in that later hour of Friday night. And then Saturday, those gusts continuing to come on in with the showers. We could have some lingering showers on Sunday as well. Mostly cloudy skies, though, into our weekend. Right now, a lot of precipitation down south here, but we have just a few sprinkles. Current conditions, though, with this radar showing we're fairly dry out there. That's going to be that story this evening as we have some cloud coverage, hence those warmer temperatures as the clouds kind of keep that heat in. For tomorrow morning, a lot of that activity with precipitation is going to be along this Wisconsin border, so Gogebic, Iron, and Dickinson, but especially down in Menominee County. So if you're headed down into Wisconsin, heads up for those driving conditions. Saturday morning, we could see some sprinkles here and there throughout the day. It's going to be a little bit muddy out there for those weekend events as well, but other than that, we don't have snow on the radar, so take it as it is. UP 200 Dryland Dash happening Saturday and Sunday in Negaunee Township around 9 a.m. Both days, 9 a.m. is when the race starts. It'll be about 43 degrees. Like I mentioned, some breezy conditions expected. 70% chance of showers on that Saturday, less chance on Sunday with about 40%. And then taking a look at Uptober, I still haven't heard what this is called. Uptoberfest in Escanaba. Those temperatures in the mid 50s and that rain likely to hit the ground there as well. Our 7-day outlook in Marquette, we're drying up next week.
Thanks, Air. Our 19 News Insights is on the way next after this break.
Sleep better with a new mattress from Kirkish Furniture. We proudly feature made in the Midwest Restonic mattresses. Try one out today and compare other major brands. Let our sleep specialists help you find the bed of your dreams at Kirkish Furniture.
10 million people call Michigan home. The state capital since 1847 is in Lansing, and decisions made in this building affect you and the Upper Peninsula. I'm WZMQ 19 Sophia Murphy, uncovering what's really happening here every day, tracking issues about your health and the environment, taxes and roads, schools, and safety. Reports direct from the Capitol, only on your WZMQ 19 News.
Sophia Murphy, reporting live from Lansing, exclusively on 19 News.
Tonight, Norah O'Donnell sits down with Secretary of State Blinken in Tel Aviv about America's role in the war. Then, as Gaza remains under siege, the humanitarian crisis unfolding tonight on the CBS Evening News.
I love you.
I love the sweet potato pie you bring to every family reunion. I love how you're my morning alarm. I can't imagine a Sunday show, night in, night out, or dinner without you. I can't imagine any tomorrow without you in it. So today I say, I love you. Get screened. Regular cancer screening saves lives. Visit cancer.org/getscreened to learn more.
Now more than ever, you need to know what's happening here in Washington. Decisions affecting your life by the people you set here. I'm Rachel Knapp, tracking the daily decisions by your senators and representatives. That's my job, and I report to you. Healthcare, education, the economy, taxes, jobs, all hang in the balance. Watch my reports from Capitol Hill only on WZMQ 19 News.
You're watching the award-winning WZMQ 19 News, live and local with Sarah Blakely.
Well, there's no snow on the ground yet, but sled dog teams around the UP are already getting some practice in. And this weekend in Negaunee Township, the UP 200 Dryland Dash is racing through the woods to give fans a closer look at the action. Joining us tonight is the Dryland Dash event chair, Tim Trowbridge. Thanks for coming in, Tim.
Sure, you bet.
So tell us what the Dryland Dash is all about.
Well, the Dryland Dash is a race with sled dogs, but not the sleds, not the snow, not the quite as cold weather usually. And we use bicycles, we use scooters, we use rigs that are made specifically for dryland racing. And in fact, there's canacross, which means that you run in front, you run behind the dog is in front and pulling you. You have to keep up with the dog then.
That sounds very challenging. I'm sure the dogs are very fast. So tell us, there's a scholarship that's available for people who participate. How does that work?
Well, what we did this year, we know that the UP 200 is extremely important in the Upper Peninsula. Lots of people, thousands of people come and watch that. However, there has not been a whole lot of interest on the part of Upers, strangely, I think. And so what this Dryland Dash does is to provide an entry ramp for people who might be interested. They might have just one or two dogs at home, and gives them an opportunity to have some exercise, to be outdoors. We know something about obesity of all of the animals, some humans too.
True.
And the importance of exercise for both dogs and people.
Yeah.
So that's a great way to get that done.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, tell us about the benefits of having the Dryland Dash, of having these teams running through the woods without any snow for both the teams and also for the spectators too.
You bet. Yeah, we want to try to encourage that. The scholarship was designed to bring in Upers, and we actually paid the entry fee then for Upers who wrote about why they should be qualified for it and what their interest was and so on and so forth. So a bit of a contest with that. And so we got 4 scholarships that we issued. We paid the entry fee for them, and it's going to be exciting for them and exciting for the other contestants as well.
Absolutely. So people who are going out to watch this weekend, what can they expect?
They can expect to be able to get really up close and personal with the dogs and the mushers. There are over 100 entries this year. That's the most that we have ever had. Parking may be a bit of a problem, but the Negaunee Township Park is big, and there's lots of parking and lots of places to view the dogs and to walk through the dog yard and see all the dogs. You can hear them for a long ways away.
For people who just want to stay up to date on not just the Dryland Dash, but even what's ahead for the UP 200 in a few months from now, where can they go to get information?
There is a website. The UP 200 website is up and running, and up200.org is also up and running. So there's information there too, and so people can go there, and there are some links, I guess is what they're called.
Perfect. And we'll have all of that on our website after the show. Just head to WZMQ19.com. Tim, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We appreciate it.
Okay, well, thank you for having us, and thank you for being your interest in developing this.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tim. Still ahead tonight, it's the Cover 2. Luke Giardi has a preview of this weekend's Miners Cup football game between NMU and Michigan Tech. And later, why the city of Escanaba is considering allowing residents to own chickens and ducks on their property, and what has to happen first. Your WZMQ 19 News will return right after this short break.
New CBS Tonight. If you like The Price is Right at night, and let's face it, you do, we do. Feels good, doesn't it? Good news. Are you ready? You're gonna love what comes after it. Raid the Cage! The new game where you get in,
Get out!
and you just might get rich. Friday night is game night. It's a brand new car! The Friday Night Fun premieres tonight, starting at 8, 7 Central on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
Well, it was about 1 year ago that we launched our live and local 19 newscasts. How are you feeling about this first year?
Amazing. It's been wild, right? We started in like a construction zone, but we've been building this very unique and fun environment. Sarah, when you're out and about, what is the reaction you get from people?
Honestly, a lot of people seem really excited that we're on the air. A lot of people seem like they're excited that there's another option for news here, and just, you know, a different flavor of news coverage.
We also won Best Newscast, Sarah. Can you believe that?
I honestly cannot believe that. That was such a shock and such an honor, too. I mean, we were only on air for 3 months of 2022, and to win Best Newscast within 3 months, really within just a few weeks of being on air, is pretty incredible. And I'm so proud of our team, and it's just been really cool to see.
Another thrilling week to play football. The NFL on CBS. Catch all the action this week on WZMQ 19. Sunday's game features the Seattle Seahawks against the Cincinnati Bengals at 1 p.m. See you this Sunday for the NFL on WZMQ 19, home of the 2024 Super Bowl.
It's time for the Cover 2. Luke Giardi is here to look at the battle at the Superior Dome coming up Saturday between Northern Michigan University and Michigan Tech. Hey, Luke.
Hey, Sarah. While Northern Michigan and Michigan Tech have been meeting on the gridiron since 1920, the traveling trophy known as the Miners Cup was created in 2002. The trophy consists of an antique Miners helmet mounted on a wooden base, and the trophy goes to the winning team when the Huskies and Wildcats meet up on the football field. But since the inception of the trophy, it's had a near permanent residence in Houghton, while occasionally vacationing in Marquette. The Huskies have won 17 of the 20 games involving the Miners Cup, including each of the last 12. But this year, both sidelines feature a head coach looking to win it for the first time while leading their programs. Dan Metlack is in his first year as the head coach of the Huskies and has had his team out to a winning record at 3-2. The Huskies won their first 3 games of the year, but have dropped their last 2, including a heartbreaking 2-point loss at Wayne State last week. Michigan Tech comes in with a balanced offensive attack featuring 2 of the best skilled players in the conference. William Morano sits 3rd in the GLIAC in rush yards per game, averaging 75.2, while receiver Ethan Champney leads the conference in yards with 488 to go along with 5 touchdowns. For Northern Michigan first-year head coach Shane Richardson, the season has gotten off to a difficult start. The Wildcats are 0-6 and have been been outscored by an average of 43-13. But one bright spot for the Wildcats is running back Tyquan Cox, who leads the GLIAC in all-purpose yards with 718. And as the old cliche goes, when these rivals get together, you can throw out the records. In the last 8 matchups between these two, 7 were decided by a touchdown or less. So who will bring home the Miners Cup this year? We'll find out Saturday night at the Superior Dome with kickoff at 7 p.m. And after a year, it has come to be my final cover 2. And I just want to say thank you to the entire team here at WZMQ, from Brian for bringing me on, Trent, Megan, Ken, Mitchell, Scott, Ariane, and of course you, Sarah. It's been an absolute pleasure and a blast to be here with you each and every week and to see this operation grow. It's been truly tremendous, and I will still be watching you all do such a great job. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Luke, and good luck on your next venture. The city of Escanaba could soon allow residents to keep chickens and ducks on their properties. WZMQ's Escanaba Bureau reporter Lily Simmons has the details.
Chickens and ducks, currently illegal to keep within Escanaba city limits. The city's planning commission has been collecting public feedback on a potential zoning ordinance amendment, which would allow the keeping of those animals with an annual license. According to the planning and zoning administrator, there are strong opinions on both sides of the issue.
There were some concerns for public health. Is this going to cause a problem with sanitation or noxious odors?
The ordinance includes provisions for health and sanitation issues, as well as strict requirements for where the birds can be housed.
All livestock shall be kept in an enclosure, which prevents intrusion from vermin like mice and rats and commonly known predators.
Many of those in support of the proposed amendment, including resident Trisha Lind, say keeping your own chickens is a way to live more sustainably and save money on groceries.
If you're a family of 6 or more, you go through a lot of eggs. Just to make breakfast for my family, I go through an 18-pack right off the bat. These guys can lay up to 2 eggs a day, and when you have 14 of them, that's a lot of eggs.
The ordinance prohibits the sale of eggs and meat. It also limits keepers to 6 animals per property, which Lynn says is a concern for production.
Flocks that are smaller, especially when they have to be contained, they don't like to lay as much. They're not as comfortable to lay. You can't just throw a number on something without actually doing the homework.
If the commission approves the amendment at tonight's public hearing on the issue, it will then move on to the City Council.
It should be interesting. We've gotten quite a lot of written comments compared to most of our public hearings. I'm anxious and excited to see how things go.
Lily Simmons, WZMQ 19 News, Escanaba.
We'll have an update on the Planning Commission's decision tonight at 11:10 Central. Well, I hope you enjoyed the sunshine today because we've got some rain on the way for tomorrow. Ariane has the outlook on the way.
Someday your son's going to test you. It's going to force you to make a decision.
A man must stand with his people. Now we are not your people.
There is nothing you could do I won't forgive you for.
Yeah, there is.
Yellowstone, Sunday after 60 Minutes on CBS.
Brought to you locally by Erickson Jewelers.
Attention people with Medicare and anyone turning 65. If you have original Medicare, you may be able to get a Medicare Advantage plan with additional benefits. Medicare Advantage plans may include vision coverage, wellness visits, gym membership, meal delivery, and hearing coverage with affordable costs and copay. To see if you qualify for a plan with additional benefits, call Best Medcare. Our licensed insurance agents can review your current plan benefits and tell you what plan with additional benefits may be available to you. Just one call and you may be eligible to enroll in a plan with a $0 monthly premium with $0 deductibles. Tell us the doctors you want to see and if you want prescription drug coverage. The call is free. You may even find plans with $0 monthly premiums or $0 copays on certain services or $0 deductibles. Speak to a licensed insurance agent to find out if a Medicare Advantage plan is right for you. Call 800-965-7893, 800-965-7893, and let Best Medcare do the work for you.
Escanaba and Delta County, home to beautiful beaches, Lake Michigan, lighthouses, pretty parks, and great people. It's why so many are proud to say, this is home. I'm Lily Simmons. I'll show you what's happening here every day, in your schools, your communities, and businesses, sharing what makes this area so special.
Lily Simmons reports from Delta County. Weeknights at 6 and 11, only on WZMQ 19 News.
There's a little bit of sunshine out there right now. Get outside and enjoy it while you can, because we're expecting cloudier conditions to move in tomorrow, and then we'll see even some showers and breezy conditions as well. Chances of drizzle in Houghton, but more likely in Iron River as well as over in Escanaba, and those temperatures during midday about 49 to 50 degrees. And then Saturday we have a partial eclipse here in the UP. We'll see about 35% of that. I've got your full forecast later on tonight as well.
Finally tonight, Birchview Elementary students in Ishpeming gained a little more appreciation for a fruit that might even remind us about school: apples. Students visited Partridge Creek Farm today for Apple Crunch Day. It's a day to promote National Farm to School Month and to celebrate the iconic Michigan apple. Students learned more about Michigan and the UP's apple season, and each student was given an apple from Little Parsley Farms. They even began chanting Apple Crunch in between every bite. That does it for us tonight. We'll see you back here at 11:10 Central.